Tori, and for those of you who don't know me, this is my Wizard of Oz collection vlog, and today I am vlogging from the road because I had username Burtonnut ask me a list of very intriguing and interesting questions, and I wanted to answer them very badly, but I couldn't before I left for school, so I decided, what the heck, I will vlog from the road. And if my mom were watching this right now, she would be flipping out, but what the heck. Anyway, on we go. So I was asked specifically 3 questions, my perspectives on the Scarecrow Dorothy pairing, which I've been really excited to talk about and I've been thinking about vlogging about for a long time, as well as she wanted me to talk about, or he or she, I don't actually know, are you a he or a she? I didn't look. Burtonnut also wanted me to discuss the animated TV series and the Oz Kids and other animated versions, as well as the relationship and the comparison between Jack Skellington and Jack Pumpkinhead. And Burtonnut, if you aren't aware, I am also a Burtonnut. I don't know if you can see behind me, but my chair cover here in the car is Jack Skellington, as well as my steering wheel cover here. Can anyone see that? I don't know, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at the road, because that's what I should be doing. So anyway, question number 1, which is talking about the Scarecrow Dorothy pairing. I've always been fascinated by that pairing, and I actually noticed it when I was younger, and I asked my mom, like, if that was, like, what do you think? And she was like, oh, you know, I always think they loved each other like brother and sister, and I could see that perspective too, but I don't know, like, it was written in the original script. A lot of you know that already. In the original script, there was a very innocent, very youthful romance between Hunk and Dorothy in Kansas, and that translated over to Oz, but when that was cut from the Kansas sequence, some of the lines made it through to the Oz sequences anyway. There were several writers on that script, and it was kind of a hot mess, and a lot of things were added and cut all the time, so I'm sure they lost track. But that was that. You know, and a lot of people talk about pairings in the book. I never picked up on a pairing in the book because Dorothy was younger. She was like 8 years old, so it didn't really make sense to me that she would be paired with anybody from the books. In the books, I felt that the Scarecrow's affection for her was very protective and paternal, not so much romantic. So, but definitely in the movies, and actually in subsequent versions that were based on the movie, such as the animated series, I thought there was a lot of connection between Dorothy and the Scarecrow in the animated series. What do you guys think? I'm talking about the Deke 1990s series. Has anybody else seen it out there? It's one of my favorites, even though the animation was not like supreme, and it really wasn't. I really think that they first of all, it was a beautiful tip of the hat to the characters in the film. I think they did really nice performance, like copycat performances, but in a very respectful and tributary way, if that makes sense. And I think that they were really swell. And then also, you know, there's the fact that they spent a lot of time focusing on how they mingled with each other, and you know, they would bicker and they didn't always agree, and I thought that was really realistic and fun to explore those relationships. Moving on to question number 2, because I could really talk about Dorothy and Scarecrow all day long and why I think they're a great couple. I just, you know, but let me see how much I'm doing on time here. I'm already 4 minutes into this vlog almost, and I'm still talking about it because I could really talk about it all day. In terms of the film, you can see hints of it all over the place in terms of the way that they're always with each other, the way they touch each other, the way they look at each other. Very subtle performance. Did anybody else ever notice during the balloon scene that Dorothy's patting the Scarecrow on the chest and he leans down and kisses her hand? I always thought that was so sweet, and it was kind of it was not focused on at all, and it was in the background while the wizard's talking and the camera is zooming in. Did anybody else ever catch that? I always it made me go, oh, you know, so sweet. So moving on to issues about the various animated series, the 1990s Deke series is maintained as my absolute favorite, but the anime would definitely be a close second. Not the English. I've gone into this, you know, a little bit. And you know about the Oz Kids? I've only seen clips of the Oz Kids. I've never seen a full episode because I can't find it in English. And I've tried finding the VHS tapes. They're just so scarce. And there are no DVDs that I could find. Isn't Willard Carroll responsible for the Oz Kids? Willard, get on that. Get them out there. We the fans are very curious, for those of us who haven't seen it, and I've heard people rave about it, the people who have. So I would love to see that. I know there was a Christmas special, and I think there's clips of that on YouTube, and I've definitely looked that up. But that's all I've ever seen of it, Burtonnut, and I would love to see more of it. I would really love to see more of it. So I'm almost 100% positive that Willard Carroll produced the Oz Kids. So if that's accurate, correct me if I'm wrong, leave in the comments if I'm wrong. Please get that out there for your fans. We would love to see that on DVD. Please, please, please. And then in terms of Jack Skellington and Jack Pumpkinhead, well, there's a lot of comparisons you could make there. I think that Tim Burton was definitely influenced. You can tell he's a fan of the classics. He's a fan of, you know, Wonderland, and there were rumors for a long time that he was interested in making Oz a reality in film. I don't know, and that Johnny Depp would be the Scarecrow. I don't know if those rumors were just, you know, speculation and, you know, fans' hopes. I heard that rumor before I heard about Alice in Wonderland being produced. So I don't know if any of that was actually in production or in pre-production, was even a thought of Tim Burton's, but that would be amazing. But you could tell he's definitely influenced by those old-time, you know, classic fairy tales. I think Baum, if I had to guess, is probably one of his favorite authors. He is a fan of Roald Dahl. He is a fan of Lewis Carroll, so I would have to assume then that he's a fan of L. Frank Baum. I would hope that he is. And if that's true, if he is being influenced by those fairy tales, then I think it's pretty clear who Jack Skellington was based on, because the similarities between he and Jack Pumpkinhead, even in terms of attitude and affect, are really, really startlingly similar. That wide-eyed optimism and hopefulness and kind of almost stupidity in a heroic way. I really see a lot of relationship there, and not just in terms of character design, but also in terms of affect and mood and personality. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm still driving. I'm going to be driving for a long time. School's pretty far away. It's an hour away. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will speak to you again soon. Please leave me more comments about things you'd like to hear me talk about, and I'd be happy to respond to them. Thank you so much, Burtonnut, for your insightful questions and observations, and give me the thumbs up if you want to see more. Bye, guys!